Hello students, we have been studying the lesson number 3, religious synthesis of the standard 7 subject history. We have seen some part of this lesson already. Once again I am revising the important point here. Religious synthesis means, the lesson's name religious synthesis, and religious synthesis means that is the coming together all the caste creeds in a religion. Coming together, that is uh, the try was made by so many saints in the ancient time to bring the harmony, to bring the unity in the religions. So that is the lesson's name, religious synthesis. So in this lesson we have been studying that how the so many people, how so many saints worked for bringing unity in the religions, and how their work was there, and how the people united, on the base of religion. No, so that all things we have been studying. We have seen that students, that in that time also, means in the medieval period also, in India the try was made that the society should be one. The society, the Indian society should be one, and it is the importance of coming together or coming in bringing unity, it is focused by many people. So this way, in that time also we have seen that so many sects, so many religious beliefs were there, of one religion, of one religion only. There were many religious beliefs, different types of groups were there in religion. So to eradicate that, to destroy that all the religions, many people have worked. So for bringing unity in the society, because at that time society was divided in hierarchies. So one group or one hierarchy had the much important work, group of the people had much important, and other people didn't have that much. So to eradicate this hierarchy, the people tried at that time. And that way we have been studying that, or we have studied that bhakti marg, bhakti movement started. So many saints opposed the action of rituals or brahma gyan. So they told that it is not necessary that you should make the rituals and then you will get the blessings of the god. If you have their worship in your mind, you can also get the blessings of god. It is not important to then you should make the rituals. Already I have told you the meaning of ritual. No, so that way the bhakti movement started only to avoid the rituals in many religions. And what was happening because of the rituals? So if the rituals are these actions are going on of rituals, one particular a hierarchy was given the importance, that is Brahmin. Still Brahmin also are working, or they are doing the rituals. No, so means Brahmin works as an agent between the common people and the god. This is the thing, is still it is prevalent. So to eradicate that, many people tried that there is no need of any agent. There is no need of any rituals. If you have the worship in your mind for the god, god's blessings are always with you. In it we have seen students, that is bhakti movement. Bhakti movement, and in it we have seen that this bhakti movement was started in South India. And Nainar and Alwar, these bhakti movements emerged in this region, where in South India. So in South India, Nainar and Alwas were there. So Nainars were worshipping Shiva, and Alwas were worshipping Vishnu, So then after also the try was made that these groups, Nainar and Alwar's bhakti movement should be one. And that's why Harihar type of idols were also depicted. Harihar, I have explained that. So this way the try was made in that time also. So bhakti movements values were there, like love of God, humanity, compassion, mercy, etc. So Ramanuja and other acharyas also strengthened, made the strong base for Bhakti movement. Who? Ramanuja and other in South India only. Now see here, according to this Bhakti movement, according to Bhakti movement, God does not discriminate. Okay, God has not made any discrimination between the people. All are same for God. All the people are same for Him. Okay, no any hierarchies are there. No any Brahmin, Shudra, Kshatriya, Vaishya. This type of discrimination is not there. Okay, before the God. So this way they preach to the people, to the common people. Then we have seen students, that is Sant Ramanand also strengthened the Bhakti movement in North India. In South, okay, they are these all people, okay, who, that is Ramanuja will be there, Acharyas will be there, other Acharyas, okay, they worked in South India. This Ramananda, okay, Sant Ramananda, he worked in North India, or he strengthened the Bhakti movement in North India. And here the Sant Kabir is shown. Okay, Sant Kabir, he is also the well known sant in Bhakti movement, and he had not given the importance to idol worship or vratas. Okay, so he didn't give the importance to pilgrimage, vratas or idol worship. According to him, truth was God. Truth was God. And he taught that all human beings are same, are equal. Okay, the discrimination should not be, God has not made any discrimination, okay, in between the people. So this type of sayings it was of Sant Kabir. Now we are going to see one more thing. Sant Kabir also said that, or he wanted to bring Hindu, okay, he wanted to bring Hindu Muslim unity. Okay, he wanted to bring about Hindu Muslim unity, and that's why he criticized the Orthodox people. We have discussed what is Orthodox yesterday. Now see here, we are going to see the next part. This was happening in South India. Okay, no. Now we are going to see about the Bengal. In Bengal, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, in Bengal, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu underlined the importance of Krishna Bhakti. Okay, underline the importance of Krishna Bhakti. Who? Chaitanya Prabhu. Okay, Chaitanya Prabhu underlined or gave the importance to Krishna Bhakti, and because of his teaching, people joined the Bhakti movement in transcending. Okay, in transcending the boundaries of, in transcending the boundaries of caste and creed. Means see here, at that time in anywhere in India, at that time the society was divided into caste and creeds. Okay, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told the importance of Krishna Bhakti. Okay, and because of his teaching, people joined Bhakti movement. Oh, and they went beyond the boundaries of caste and creed. Means breaking the chain of caste and creed. Okay, breaking the chain of caste and creed. Creed means caste, all of you know. Creed means what? It is one type of religious belief. Okay, one group of religious belief, that is creed. So they broke the boundaries of caste and creed, and they joined the Krishna Bhakti. Okay, they joined the Krishna Bhakti movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where it was in Bengal. Okay, in Bengal, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the movement Krishna Bhakti. Now next see, under his influence, Shankara Deva, under his influence, whose influence? That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's influence. Under the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu influence, Shankar Deva also spread the Bhakti movement in Assam. Okay, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spread his Bhakti movement in Bengal, and Shankar Deva spread his Bhakti movement in Assam. Okay, both were praising Krishna Bhakti. Okay, both were praying for Krishna. Shankar Deva also and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, they both were praying for Krishna, and they both spread the Bhakti movement. Okay, Bhakti movement of Krishna. Shankar Deva was spreading the message in Assam, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Bengal. Now next, Narsim Mehta was a renowned Vaishnava Okay, Narsi Mehta was a renowned Vaishnava Sant in Gujarat. Narsi Mehta. Who is this? Narsi Mehta. He was renowned means very famous. Narsi Mehta was a very famous Vaishnava Sant. Okay, he was of the Vaishnava. Vaishnava means what? It is one group that which group worships Vishnu. Okay, Vishnu. That is Vaishnava Sant in Gujarat. Narsi Mehta was a Vaishnava Sant in Gujarat, and he was an ardent means what? Okay, ardent means a strong follower. Narsi Mehta was a strong follower, a strong devotee of Krishna. Okay, Narsi Mehta was a strong devotee of Krishna, and he gave the message of equality. Who? Narsi Mehta. Narsi Mehta was a renowned Vaishnava Santa in Gujarat, and he was a devotee of Krishna, and he gave the message. Narsi Mehta gave the message of equality. Okay, and he is known as the first poet of Gujarati language. Narsi Mehta is known as the first poet of Gujarati language. Okay, because he was working in Gujarat, so he knew the language Gujarati. Okay, no, so that's why, and he wrote many verses in Gujarati language, and that's why he is known as first. Narsi Mehta is known as first poet of Gujarati language. Now next see Sant Mirabai. Okay, Sant Mirabai stressed the importance of devotion of Krishna. She was also the devotee of Krishna, Sant Mirabai. Okay, and if you see, she was of a royal family of Mewar. She was of a royal family of Mewar. Okay, that is Rajgharana. Okay, Rajgharana, royal family of Mewar. But because of the devotion, because to give the devotion to Krishna, she renounced, means she left all the pleasures of royal family and immersed herself in devotion of Krishna. But she had the strong feeling, strong devotion for Krishna, and that's why she renounced, she left all the royal pleasures, and she immersed, or she poured down herself. She poured down herself in a devotion of Krishna. She had also composed many verses in Rajasthani and Gujarati. Who? Sant Mirabai. She composed many devotional verses. Okay, the word is very important. Devotional verses. Devotional verse for Krishna. So it was written in Rajasthani and Gujarati. And her devotional verses give. Okay. Her devotional verses give the message of devotion. So through her verses, okay, through her writing poems, writing verses, which message she gave? That is of devotion. Okay, that is of devotion, tolerance and humanity. Okay, devotion, tolerance and humanity means you should have the feeling of devotion. If you want to get the blessings, or you want to meet the God, you should have the devotion. Okay, so this type of message she gave through her verses. And also you should have the enduring capacity, that is tolerance. Okay, tolerance means enduring capacity. You should have the enduring capacity. You should wait for something. Okay, you will not get the things immediately. Means she also told the importance of tolerance, enduring capacity to getting anything. And also she told the importance of humanity, means as a human being you should have the love, you should have the compassion for other living beings. So that is, she told, she gave the message of humanity through her Rajasthani and Gujarati verses. Okay, now one more Sant was there, that is Sant Sena. Sant Sena also was an influential Sant, and Sant Rohidas was a great Sant. Okay, not much information is given here about Sant Sena and Sant Rohidas. Okay, only about Sant Rohidas the information is given here, that is Sant Rohidas gave the message of equality, message of equality and humanity. Surdasa, I think all of you heard the name of this person, Surdasa. he was a great poet of Hindi literature. Okay, great poet of Hindi literature. If you have not studied any poems till 10th, you will study at least one poem of him, Surdasa's. Okay, so he was a great poem of Hindi literature, and he was also the devotee of Krishna. Who? Surdasa. His famous work, poetical work. Okay, his famous poetical work is Sur Sagar. Sur Sagar. According to his name Surdasa. Okay, means Sur Sagar is the poetical work, and he also depicted the verses, okay, to devotion to Krishna, and Krishna Bhakti is the subject of his work. Okay, Krishna Bhakti. So, what is the subject of his verses? What is the subject of his poetical writing? That is devotion to Krishna or Krishna Bhakti is the subject of his work. Okay, the question will come in the exam that what was the subject of writing verses of Surdasa. So, Krishna Bhakti, devotion of Krishna was the subject of Surdasa's poetical work. See, next the verses on Krishna Bhakti composed by the Muslim Sant Ras Khan are melodious. So, this Muslim person was there, okay, Muslim, also one writer, poet was there, Muslim poet, that is Sant Ras Khan, okay, Muslim poet Sant Ras Khan, and his verses, okay, these verses were also for to Krishna, devoted to Krishna. So, these are very melodious, these are very means it is melodious for listening, okay, melodious. So, Ramacharita Manasa of Sant Tulsidas is a beautiful composition expressing devotion to Rama. So, Ramcharitra was there, Ramacharita, okay, Ramcharita. So, Ramacharita Manasa of Sant Tulsidas is a beautiful composition expression devotion to Rama. Now, this person whose Tulsidas, okay, Tulsidas was praising or devoting to Rama, and Surdasa was devoting to Krishna. Okay, keep this in mind. So, Sant also composed poems on devotion to Rama. Okay, students, keep this in mind. So, which we have seen that Sant Mirabai also was devoting to Krishna. Okay, and in if you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, okay, here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also was the devotee of Krishna Bhakti, and his follower Shankar Deva, okay, Shankar Deva was also the follower, he was devotee of Krishna, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started his message to spread in Bengal and Shankar Deva in Assam. So, Narsi Mehta also he was an devotee of Krishna, Narsi Mehta, and this way means all the here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shankar Deva, Narsi Mehta, then also Sant Mirabai, these all were the devotees of Krishna, and here also if you see Surdas was also the devotee of Krishna, but only Sant Tulsidas was the devotee of Rama. Okay, students, that much is enough for today. Okay, whatever the remaining part we will see in the next part. Okay, students, I will stop here.